Yeah. Also, by the way, there is a lot of misconception in people's mind that growth hacking मतलब social media के followers बढ़ा देना. Or also there is another misconception कि growth hacking is always organic.
And misconception is also there that growth hacking is always on internet.
Is it true or is it not?
I'll tell you from the very beginning till the end.
Finally, good, bro. Finally, both times I'm trying. And you have been busy, bro. You have been busy moving to Bangalore and everything. So how was the move? How was the move? It was smooth और कोविड की वजह से बहुत इधर उधर नाटक हो रहा है. How is it?
No, COVID की वजह से तो कुछ भी नहीं हुआ. It was fine, but still I'm taking some time to settle down, new city, new kind of things happening.
Yeah. Cool, bro. So where were you operating from before Bangalore? कहाँ से हो रहा था सब कुछ?
For that, it was all work from home.
Okay.
So I was born and brought up in Lucknow. So I was in Lucknow, and every person was at their place.
Okay.
And for a few months in January 2021, I was in Mumbai living with Vaibhav, doing things there. And then more people joined in. So in April, we had planned to stay 2-3 months together in Mumbai and work. But at that time, the COVID was at peak. Yes, we had to come back. And since then, we were doing work from home. But now we are setting up our office in Bangalore. Team is expanding. All of things are going to happen from Bangalore.
Crazy to know, bro. Like I'm following Growth School, Vaibhav, and you guys from a long time. We connected on Twitter, and I've been, closely paying attention to what these guys are doing. Something is happening. It's then we can feel the energy that something big is going to happen. So it's great. It's always great to people like me who have the interest like me do some great things. It always feels good, and that's why I just wanted to talk to you. Because what happened was I knew obviously a lot of people already know who Vaibhav is, and then I was like, okay, this. So I came to know you first about you when you launched your podcast, I guess. Right? Okay. So you had this crazy lineup of podcasts of people all over the place, and everybody was posting about it. Vaibhav, Raj Shamani, and all. It was all over the place. So I was like, okay, who is this guy? And then we connected on Twitter, and it has been great since then. So I just want to talk to you, to understand how everything happened. Yeah. So, okay, bro. So let's start. Let's tell people who Uttam is, where he is coming from. Like basically, what's your origin story? How you bought up, how you got interested into marketing and all those kind of things. So we'll start from over there. Yeah, cool.
Good to share that. So as I said, I'm born and brought up in Lucknow. I was a very studious kid, and in 12th, I was in commerce. Okay, so I thought in 11th that okay, these science people have something to do big in life by doing IIT. They have something, right?
Yeah.
What can I do? I'm in commerce. I don't have any big goals. Like I love having big goals. So I thought, and I was just talking to my teacher, and I got to know there is a college called SRCC in Delhi.
Oh yeah.
Which I got to know is like best college for finance people. I thought, okay. Let's have something.
इसको ट्राई कर लेते हैं. इसको ट्राई हाथ पे मार लेते हैं.
करेक्ट. कुछ तो होना चाहिए बड़ा, वरना एकलेसली इधर उधर कुछ भी आ जाएगा. So in 12th, I made that goal from the very beginning. I started working towards it, and I was very passionate, very determined that I want to get into SRCC because I thought moving out of this place where I am born and brought up will like help me to grow in life. 100%. I don't know how I got that like long-term perspective. I don't know, but I got that wisdom at that time. But it was not that easy. Like that journey was one of the toughest phases of my life in 12th. In 12th, I made that goal that I want to go into SRCC, and I thought it will be an easy road, but it was one of the toughest phases of my life because during that year, I went through major health issues. I was hospitalized, and still, I don't know. I was so determined that I was still constantly working on my goal. And then what happened that it was so difficult that year that things were not going my way. In that year itself, I had near-death experience. I had health issues, and 2 days before the exams, I met with an accident where I had got my right hand.
Oh, man. Damn.
But with God's grace, it was not that bad that I won't be able to write exam, or else it was so intense. I was so passionate that when I was having that accident on road, it was happening in slow motion. That damn, it is like shatter.
Yeah.
So, but it happened. Then I went to SRCC. Then in SRCC, like till that time, I had thought to become a CA. Okay,
Yeah,
because
yeah. कॉमर्स मतलब सीए, साइंस मतलब इंजीनियर.
bus. So college gaya, then I realized that okay, there is life beyond CA and CA.
Yeah.
That and then in my college, like I started exploring multiple things, and it opened up my mind that there are multiple things that I can do. Then there were like people talking about management consulting, people about investment banking.
All
No
the
one was
things.
about marketing, but okay. So I thought, okay, let's explore. And in college, I started exploring because till that time I was thinking to do CA. Now I was clueless what to do next. So to figure out, I started exploring, and you won't believe I tried everything under the sun during the first
Same with me, bro.
1.5 year of my college. I did graphic designing, I tried calligraphy, I did video
Same.
editing, I did social
Same.
entrepreneurship, event
Same.
management, public speaking, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And I was just trying to meet new people, try to hear their stories,
Yeah.
uh, all of those things. And then there was no marketing culture like in SRC because it's a finance
It's
college.
yeah. Yeah.
So what I thought, okay, finance में तो नहीं जाना है. Let's pick up management consulting.
हाँ.
I'll go in BCG, McKinsey, all of those things.
हाँ. हाँ.
But surprisingly, and good thing happened that one of my senior was into marketing, and he had decided कि marketing में उनको career बनाना है. So I was in one of my college clubs where I was building social entrepreneurship ventures and all of those things, and I was working with my senior
Yeah.
and social media marketing, content creation, and all of those things. And side by side, I was learning management consulting, which I had thought that will be my career and I'll take my job. But it was kind of an A/B testing for me because I was studying management
That's
consulting.
marketeer speaking. That's marketeer speaking.
So I
हाँ.
was studying management consulting, and I was also doing stuff in marketing, social media, content creation, campaigns, and all of those things. That made me realize that okay, management consulting I will be able to do. But I'm not enjoying that process. While
यार
in
यार.
I'm enjoying, I'm loving what I'm doing, and that made me just start my
Switch. Yeah.
my.
Makes sense. Makes sense. Yeah. So, like, what you just told, like the story that you just told, I have a very similar story. I have a very similar story because I am an engineer. So I tried for IIT, couldn't get into IIT. Went into VIT, a decently good college. But the only thing that I learned from college was meeting new people, exposure. Actually, so the world opens for me. So what happens
Okay.
is the horizon that you live when you are in your city is very narrow, and as you go to college it broadens because everybody is doing something else, everybody is trying something else. So in the second year of college I was like, यार coding, because I am a computer science engineer, everybody is programming, everybody is coding. मैंने बोला यार ये तो नहीं हो सकता, अब करना क्या है. So I did the same thing, dude. Like I graphic designing, Blender, Unreal Engine. I'm doing all over the place. Trying all the things here and there. And then I came to know about marketing. Started reading about marketing. Started with the books, and I was like, "Yeah, this is my thing. This is my thing," because I am always, trying to talk to new people, into communication, persuasion, sales, or वैसा वाला. I have always had that. So even I started the same way, so that's like one thing that we have in common. And apart from that, like, so what people always come to me and people think that, these guys are so clear, they are so sure about what they actually want to do. It must have been so easy for them. And I always tell them that if you really want to know what you want to do, it is also very important to know what you absolutely hate, because until unless you do not know what you hate, you cannot figure out what you really, really would enjoy doing. So yeah, again, like, it is about exploration. Or also when you talk about, the accident that you met with, near death kind of experience that you had. So when I got back to my home in 2020 in March after coronavirus, so I got coronavirus, my entire family. We were first family in my city to get coronavirus, so I was panicked. Everybody, because I was worried about my family, me, and because we were 10 to 12 people, everybody was positive. एंड उस टाइम पे खौफ इतना ज़्यादा था कोविड का कि कोविड मतलब तो इंसान मतलब सर्वाइव ही नहीं कर सकता. इट्स ऑलमोस्ट लाइक दैट. या एंड I think, experiences like this make you realize and make you aware of how short life is, and how, like, why you should really do things that you really want to do. Because how fragile it really is, because COVID we have seen, because COVID almost changed me, bro. Like, it's like everybody around me who was very healthy, just, that's it. Next day, they're gone. So how fragile life is, and that kind of, so these are some of the experiences, that really tell you how fragile life is and why you should really work on things that you really want to work on, regardless of what people tell you,
Yeah.
So yeah, like, that's great. And so my thing with the podcast is, like, I never script them, so you also asked me, Akshat, okay, what we are going to talk about. So my entire theory is to just invite a person, have a conversation, get to know about them, get to know about their interests and talk to them. So I want to know, you also do a podcast. Yeah. So you are the first person who is a podcaster that I'm interviewing, right? So what is how does your process of podcast looks like? How is your process of podcast looks like? Like, do you have a framework for it, Do you have a structure for it that you follow, or it is completely raw for you as well? Like, how do you go about it? So tell us about that.
Okay, so I'll tell you. Yeah, I'll tell you from the very beginning till the end. My process is, I'm a very organized person. I have trackers and sheets and all of those things. I'm a Notion, so I have everything on Notion, full podcast tracker. So like, it's organized. There is one page which just talks about my podcast, so that I can keep reminding myself. So that was one thing. The other thing that I have is my guest tracker, where I keep listing down all the guests that I want to invite, and it has all the status also where
Same.
they stand in the funnel, right? Have I followed them? Next follow up, where have I contacted them? Where is the best place to contact them?
Yep.
Right. And then there, next I have a tracker to track my, like, it is like a cheat sheet to like do the editing and
Yes.
production and everything. So these are major three things, and I have kind of tried to templatize things so that it's easier for me to do it continuously.
Yeah.
And I say templatized, I have just templatized the description so that not every time I have to beat my head. And while coming to the major part, that how I take interviews, so I structure them like, so I am not very like that kind of person who take interviews completely without preparation. Like, I don't do that. It can be done, but my words are like, I try to extract the most
maximum
out
value.
of it.
Yeah.
Yes.
Got it.
That's why I do research. Like, I listen what the person has already done and said. So what he has already said, I try to avoid that. That's why I do the research. And based on that, I try to come up with my questions. Makes sense. This is what I want to ask. Then it is free flow. But I need to know
basic points you have. Yeah. So that's exactly what I do. So if I am inviting, let's say I'm inviting you, right? So I know what your interests are. So I have fixed set of topics that I want to talk on. But then there is no boundary on what are the questions I'm going to ask related to that topic. Yeah. So yeah, that's good to know. I think because what happens is, so I have tried कि मैंने पॉडकास्ट से पहले ही 15 क्वेश्चंस लिख लिए, ठीक है, कि मेरे को इस इंसान से ये क्वेश्चन तो पूछना है. नाउ व्हाट हैपेंस इज आई एम ऑलवेज इन हरी टू आस्क दैट नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन. आई एम ऑलवेज इन हरी. सो आई वाज लाइक कि नहीं, ऐसे इसको नहीं कर सकते. यू कैन नॉट राइट ऑल द क्वेश्चंस दैट यू वांट टू आस्क, यू जस्ट राइट द टॉपिक्स दैट यू वांट टू टॉक अबाउट. सो इट शुड बी वेरी फ्री फ्लो, एंड इट ऑल्सो, आई थिंक उससे क्या होता है ना कि इट ऑल्सो सीम वेरी नेचुरल. Otherwise, you are just always question वैसे चलता है. By the way, guys, if you want उत्तम का नोशन वाला पॉडकास्ट का टेम्पलेट, कमेंट में बता दो, लाइक कर दो, और उत्तम को हर जगह फॉलो कर दो. लिंक सारे डिस्क्रिप्शन में हैं, और हम तुम्हें टेम्पलेट निकाल के भेज देंगे. Cool. Okay, bro. So moving on, let's talk about growth hacking, right? So for people who do not know, so everybody know the word कि भाई growth hacking ये growth hacking वो है, because it sounds cool and people, और trending भी है, तो growth hacking ये वो जो भी है. तो लोगों को बता कि what is growth hacking at its core, and for everyone who don't know about growth hacking, what is growth hacking and how to understand it and how to think about it. Like, what's growth hacking?
Yeah. I'll explain in very simple words. Let's try to break down the word. It
Done.
has growth, it has
Yeah.
hacking. Hacking, you are a computer science student, you know what it
Yeah.
is. Like in very simple term, it is like finding ways to do certain thing. Now it can be ethical, it can be unethical.
Yeah.
It's hacking.
Makes
Then
sense.
there is growth. Growth, you want to grow something. Now in growth hacking, it is related to business.
Business. Yeah.
Okay. So when we combine, it is like you are trying to find ways to grow business.
Yeah.
Okay. You are find ways to grow business,
Grow business.
but growth hacking comes somewhere in between ethical and
Yeah.
unethical.
Yeah. Yeah.
You are not trying to do something wrong. You are not trying to harm someone. You are not trying to steal, but still you find unconventional ways to
Ways to
do.
do it. Yeah. Makes sense.
So that is growth hacking. Objective of doing growth hacking is to get hockey stick growth. Right? Today, startups want exponential growth. They
Yep.
don't want to grow at 10%,
Yeah.
5% year on year basis.
Yes.
That's how traditional businesses
Yes.
used to aim. But today, startups want 100% growth every month.
या ब्रो 6 महीने में तो यूनिकॉर्न बन रहे हैं तो अब क्या ही बोल सकते हैं. Crazy.
Correct.
Crazy.
Now to go deeper into that growth hackers. So for growth hacker, the metric is like North Star metric. Their one aim is to move the North Star metric. Like I'll explain. For digital marketers, North Star metric, for people who don't know, it is the one important metric for the business
You
that
can call
drives.
KPI. We can call KPI, key performance indicator, कि ये तो हमारा goal है, we want to achieve this, whatever it might be.
Correct.
Yeah.
So North Star is like your P0, which is most important for the business
हाँ.
to grow, to drive revenue.
Yes.
Now, for digital marketers, it could be just generating leads and drive people to their platform. For brand marketers, it could be just to change perception of the people, build more visibility,
Yes.
like that. But for growth hacker, it is all about growth.
It's about growth. Numbers.
Now,
Numbers.
that growth can mean different to different businesses and different situations.
Yeah.
It could be like getting more customers. It could be for Uber, it could be getting more drivers. For growth school, it could be building more programs.
Grams.
Right? So that North Star metric can vary from business to business, and for that objective, for that goal as well.
Yeah.
Now, I'll go more deeper.
Yeah.
Before
Please.
you ask me, before
Please,
anyone
please.
asks me, because, when we talk about growth hacking, next question is how is it different from marketing?
Yeah,
Right?
you explain. I don't know. I was not about to ask that, but I would like to hear it. Yeah.
Yeah, because that I have heard enough. Like even like everyone asks, like what is difference between marketing and growth hacking, and how do you become a growth hacker as well?
Also,
right?
by the way, there is a lot of misconception in people's mind that growth hacking मतलब social media के followers बढ़ा देना.
Yeah.
100%. I have seen people की growth hacking मतलब social, or also there is another misconception कि growth hacking is always organic. Is it true or is it not?
No, it is not true. And misconception is also there that growth hacking is always on internet.
Yeah, that's also. Yeah.
I'll give you an example. That before, like shampoo, like shampoo used to come in a bottle which used to cost 100 rupees, 150 rupees.
Yeah.
But then in India, people don't have that much buying capacity. So PNG or which company I don't know, they introduce sachets. 1 rupees, 2 rupees.
That's growth hacking.
That's growth because you are able to get that made them get lot of users.
Yup.
Right.
It
That
goes
is
to masses.
growth.
Absolutely.
Right.
Bro,
For e-commerce, it was all pay online, but in India, people don't trust.
Yeah.
They introduced cash on delivery, and e-commerce just saw that rise.
Yeah. So when you're trying to explain, it is so beautiful, and that is the part of marketing that I like, So how I think about growth hacking is you are doing all the campaigns, all the things, all the different things that's happening in the marketing, because obviously it is a very big web, right? And growth hacking is kind of something that is very unique outside of the box, that when implemented to your marketing efforts, boost your growth of your business. It's something like that, right? And for me, that's the most beautiful part of marketing. Yeah.
Correct.
Because, and so like if I try to explain how I execute growth hacking for what I do. Let's say I'm creating reels on Instagram, right? So I have a fixed, I tell myself, let's create 20 reels on this particular way, in this particular topic, in this particular format. Okay. I do that. I track the data. Then I try something new. Then I try something new. So what do you think? Growth hacking is kind of obviously a very iterative thing that you try a lot of different things. You see one thing is winning and then you go all in on it, right?
Definitely.
Yeah.
Yes. So one of the key things that a growth hacker must have is he should be okay to fail, and he should experiment a hell lot of things. You will carry out 10 experiments.
Yeah.
Out of that, you should be okay that 9 will fail.
Yep.
But if one works, we'll just double down on that, and it will give you exponential and hockey stick.
Yeah. So even I have created a video on YouTube about the same. Okay, how do you actually increase the exposure of what you're doing and how to figure out what's working for you, right? So people understand that, okay, you need to experiment. But there is just one thing that I would like to add. What Uttam says that, okay, you need to experiment, which is true 100%. But one thing that people tend to ignore is that you have to give that experiment a significant amount of time. You cannot experiment for 3 days and expect something out of it. Give it, let's say, 20 days, 25 days, then, because you need data, right? In marketing, you need data to see what's working, what's not. And if you cannot give it enough time, you just cannot figure out ki kya kaam kar raha hai, kya kaam nahi kar raha hai. How do you know?
Definitely.
How do you know, right? Yeah.
That is where the other points comes in, that a growth hacker must be data driven.
Yeah.
Because data should guide you, not your intuition. Because
100%.
Only data can help you understand what worked or what didn't.
Yes.
You will carry out experiments, but how will you know what worked or not? Data.
Yes. So see, so I have this very good thought about it, that if you are a marketer or if you're a growth hacker, you should care about the emotions of your target consumer, but you should keep your personal emotions aside. Because what happens is sometimes people are so, because I've seen people, who run Facebook advertising, right? They are so connected to a particular ad they have created कि यार ये काम करेगा, and they are completely ignoring the data they are receiving. See, so I was like कि bro, उस campaign का ROI देख, कुछ नहीं है, click link, मतलब it is not working, but people are so emotionally attached to the thing they have created कि यार ये काम करेगा bro, यार ये पक्का. I was like कि bro, keep your emotions aside and actually see what marketing, because market tells the truth, right? कि कोई चीज काम कर रही है या नहीं कर रही है. So I think it is about keeping your target consumers' emotions very close to you and then doing things, but keeping your own emotions aside from your marketing campaigns. I think that's is the best way to actually perform, growth hacking, marketing, or whatever you want to call it, or whatever you're trying to do. So yeah. It's crazy. So I myself have never, dive deep into growth hacking. So when I we have this discussion, I'm pretty clear about, okay, how I'm implementing growth hacking in what I'm doing, and I think, so that clarity is important. That clarity is important for everyone who is trying to, get into the world of, okay, growth hacking, growth hacking, and whatever it might be. Yeah. So obviously the obvious question would be, so see, people obviously who is in, let's say, second year, third year of their college, and they get to know the word about कि growth hacking, भाई ठीक है, वैभव भैया growth hacking कर रहे हैं, उत्तम भैया growth hacking कर रहे हैं, हम भी growth hacking करेंगे, ठीक है. तो उनके लिए कुछ शब्दों में बताओ कि how should they go about it, what should they keep in mind, and what should be the right approach to, go about growth hacking. What are your thoughts on that?
Yes. So firstly, let me just explain also, what I was already saying, that the difference between marketing and growth hacking, so that they understand. There is a misconception that growth hacking is a magic dust that just spell it and I'll grow.
Yeah.
That is the biggest misconception. Whoever has got clients will say, I'll pay you money. Can you grow my followers and users in a week?
Doesn't work like that. Yeah.
So firstly, understand what is marketing and what is growth hacking. So for that, you should know that marketing funnel, you call it pirate funnel, you call it A3R3 funnel, which is like awareness, acquisition, activation, right? Retention, revenue, right?
Yep.
What marketer does, what traditional marketers used to do was just focus on top two, awareness and acquisition. That's it. They are not bothered whether the customer is referring to people. They are not bothered whether money, absolutely, like that, right? Yeah. But a growth hacker has to look at the full funnel.
everything.
Like he has to care that it should, like, people should come back again. He should care that they are paying. He should care that they are referring. There is word of
Yeah,
mouth and everything.
absolutely.
So that is
Absolutely.
how, like, a marketer and a growth hacker is
Well,
different. Now, what are the things you need to have to be a growth hacker? It is a lot about mindset. There are
100%.
things also, like, a growth hacker should be a T-shaped marketer. He should understand data. He should be design centric. He should, because he will have to, a growth hacker will have to work with tech team, product team,
Absolutely.
do experiments
Absolutely.
and all of
So
that.
it is, yeah, it is like growth hacker is generalist marketer, if you would say. अगर marketing के 100 लोग खड़े कर दें और उनमें से अगर ऐसा बंदा जिसको डेटा पता हो, जिसको डिजाइन की अंडरस्टैंडिंग हो, जिसको ग्रोथ की अंडरस्टैंडिंग हो, he would be a growth hacker and he would be leading the tribe. It's almost like that because you are a generalist of all the components and things that happen in the world of marketing. If I'm
You
right.
should be T-shaped, I say. Like, you should know everything of, like,
Something.
whole spectrum, but you should also have expertise in
Yeah.
something.
Yeah.
Right?
Makes sense.
So for becoming a growth hacker, become a marketer first, and then go
Yeah.
become a growth hacker.
Yeah.
Now, to become a growth hacker, firstly you need to have a mindset, growth mindset, that you should be outcome driven. Okay. Now, what do I mean? Say if your goal is to get, like, launch 50 programs telling
Yeah.
in
Let's say,
context of growth
yeah.
school,
Yeah.
your outcome is that now you don't care about the process. You will do anything and everything to make that happen.
Yeah. Got it. Got it.
Now
Got it.
you
Got
will
it.
not just focus on things that I'm a marketer. I won't work with the tech team. I won't do this. This is not my.
Yeah. You have
You
to
do
be.
everything.
Yes. Yes. You basically have to be malleable.
Yes.
You have to be. So whose quote is that? क्या किसका quote है? I think Bruce Lee. You have to be like water. When water
Yeah,
flows
yeah.
into glass, it becomes a glass. It flows into vessel, it becomes a vessel. So I think that's how you should approach growth hacking. You cannot be very rigid. Yeah.
Definitely,
You
definitely.
can
Now,
be very
to
rigid.
make it simple for the people who are listening, like the question you asked, 5, 6 things you need to have to become a growth hacker. First is, we have discussed, you need to be data driven, right? Next is, you need to experiment a lot and be okay that they will fail,
Yeah.
right?
Yep.
Third is, you need to be outcome driven. As I said, you want to achieve something, you will do anything and
Anything
everything
that,
to.
got it.
Right?
That's a great point, by the way.
Yes. Fourth is, you need to think outside the box. That is what I was saying, that you should
100%.
not restrict yourself. What you were saying, you need not to be rigid. You need
Yeah.
to
Be
think
malleable.
beyond
Beyond what's
tradition,
going to happen. Yep. Makes
right?
sense.
And fifth is, you need to wear multiple hats.
Yeah.
That is where we said you need to be T-shirt marketer. You should have some understanding of design, some understanding of content and copy and everything.
Makes sense. That's a great point. So people think is कि यार मैं अगर 2 बुक पढ़ लूंगा ना ग्रोथ हैकिंग पे तो मेरा हो गया. मैंने अगर 2 वर्कशॉप अटेंड कर ली तो मैं ग्रोथ हैकर बन गया. मुझे अगर सर्टिफिकेट मिल गया तो मैं ग्रोथ हैकर बन गया. इट्स नेवर लाइक दैट. और यार मार्केटिंग का तो यू नो इट, who would know it better than you कि it's so change. हर दिन कुछ नया हो रहा है. हर दिन there is something changing. तो you can learning तो तुम छोड़ ही नहीं सकते. Like you have to learn every day. You have to be very on top of the market कि यार ये भी हो रहा है. I have to pay attention to this also. So for the people who are listening, a very good example of growth hacking, I would say, thinking outside of the box that comes to my mind from the recent times is a video ad that Sleepy Owl created. If you remember that वो वाला video ad, muted video ad, where there is just text pop-ups, but that ad, like they are running that ad forever, and 100% sure that ad is very profitable for them. So that's something, like that's what it is called, to think outside of the box and then implementing it in your marketing campaigns or whatever you're trying to do.
Correct.
Great, bro. Great. I think everyone is now pretty much clear about what exactly growth hacking is. Also, it is obviously about understanding कि design भी आना चाहिए थोड़ा, ये भी आना चाहिए, वो भी आना चाहिए, which is great as well. अच्छा, ये तो बात हो गई growth hacking की, and people understand कि how they really have to become growth hacking. So also, as you said कि you have to be T-shaped marketer, right? So you have to know something about everything, and then you have to be expert in one thing. Yeah.
Yes.
So there is this one thing that I just want to add. I think you would agree that in marketing you have to be very clear about who your target audience is, and you have to understand how humans behave. मतलब अगर तो how I go about it is कि let's say तुमने ना you understand how humans behave, you understand your exactly target market. अब तुम्हें पता है कि तुम्हें कंटेंट में क्या वर्ड्स यूज करने हैं, ठीक है, तो तुम्हें कॉपी राइटिंग का थोड़ा बहुत आइडिया हो गया. अब तुम्हें पता है कि मुझे एड्स कैसे बनाने की लोग स्क्रॉलिंग रोकेंगे, तो तुम, सो इट इज एट द एंड ऑफ द डे, इट इज अबाउट अंडरस्टैंडिंग योर टारगेट ऑडियंस एट इट्स कोर एंड हाउ पीपल एक्चुअली बिहेव, लाइक उन्हें क्या सुनना है, उनकी स्टोरी क्या है, what are the stories they are telling themselves and all those kind of things, है ना. So cool, that's about growth hacking. मुझे खुद क्लैरिटी मिल गई. I think people who would be listening would be like हाँ समझ आ गया भाई, growth hacking ये होती है. Which is great. So bro, so you have like you are a marketer, you do podcast, you create content on Twitter as well, you are building growth school. So I want to ask, what is your favorite among all? Like, what is your favorite part of it? What do you enjoy the most?
Yeah, I enjoy all of those things. That's why I do. Or else it will be very difficult for me to do anything beyond growth school.
Very true.
It is my full-time thing. It takes a lot of time.
100%.
So I enjoy a lot of these things. That is why I do, or else I would not have been wasting my time.
That's true. Yeah, that's true. So because होता है ना कि मतलब everybody start a podcast because somebody else is doing a podcast. समझ रहे हैं ना? So they are creating content because everybody is creating content. They want to be a social media marketer because a lot of people are social media marketer, and now growth hackers, so they also want to be a growth hacker. So I always tell people, and I would like to get your thoughts on that as well, ki how it is so important, it is very important to actually sit down with yourself and ask yourself, why do you really want to do it? क्यों भाई, क्यों बनना है तुम्हें growth hacker? क्यों करनी है तुम्हें marketing? Yeah. So what are your thoughts on that? Like what would you like to talk to people who are listening?
I completely agree to that, and that is why I'll tell you, I use Notion for all my projects, and in front of all my projects I write the why. Like for podcast,
why?
Like I have not been able to upload from last 2-3 weeks, and I just thought I won't pressurize myself because I knew it will take me some time to settle down. It won't be easy. I said okay, right? But I remember my why. I won't stop.
Yeah, that's
right. So 100%. In front of all my projects, whether it is writing on Twitter or doing podcast or growth school or anything else, I write my why in front of me. In front of that, what impact I want to drive with that, what I want to achieve. And it is written in few words in front of that itself, so that
that's such a great practice, by the way, bro. I think I would start doing that like from tomorrow or day after, because it reminds you na ki why do you want to do it, because otherwise what happens is life is fast and people live it very passively कि भाई ये कर रहा है तो मुझे भी ये करना है, मुझे 15 पॉडकास्ट रिकॉर्ड करने. क्यों करने तुम्हें 15 पॉडकास्ट रिकॉर्ड? उसका रीजन बताओ पहले. एंड आई थिंक इवन इफ यू नो इट, वी generally in life we forget about it. So when you say कि I write, it always reminds you कि इसलिए कर रहे हो bro तुम ये, and it is your reason of doing it, and it's I love it. I absolutely love it, because होता है कि there are times when you see the things that you want to do, और जब तुमने वो लिखी तब तो तुम्हें लगता है कि यार ये तो मैं करूँगा ही. यू आर ड्रिवन, यू आर इंस्पायर्ड कि यार ये तो मैं करूँगा. 15 दिन बाद जब तुम उसी चीज़ को देखते हो तो तुम प्रोक्रेस्टिनेट कर देते हो कि यार आज दोस्तों के साथ घूमने चला जाता हूँ, देखेंगे इसको 2-3 दिन बाद. बट अगर वो वाई वहाँ पे वापस लिखा होगा, दैट कैन रिमाइंड यू. इट कैन बी अ ग्रेट सम ट्रिगर दैट विल अलाउ यू टू टेक एक्शंस. So that's a great point, by the way.
The reason is, bro, like when you are starting, when you have an idea, you are super excited about it. Like
true.
The graph of motivation is like this, and as soon as you start, you are somewhere in the middle. Middle is very messy. Your motivation goes down because in the middle you won't see results. You are neither starting, so you are not excited. You will not get results initially, so you are not motivated as well. At that time, you need to remind yourself why. Your why, so that you can continue to do that, and in time again that will go up because you will start seeing results.
Makes so much sense. Also मतलब इससे ही तो वो लोग बोलते हैं ना कि यार you have to fall in love with the process. ये वो वाली बात ही है, मतलब कि if you are just chasing one thing and you are just doing it for the sake of it, कि यार मुझे वहाँ पहुँचना है, and you are not in love with the things that you are doing on a daily basis, it's not worth it. It doesn't make any sense, na, because you have to live life now. You have to do things, whatever you are trying to do now. और अगर तुम आज ही खुश नहीं हो और तुम बोलोगे कि मैं वहाँ जाके खुश होऊंगा, तो पॉइंट क्या है? So I think it's
नहीं होता, वो कभी नहीं
वो
होता है,
होता ही नहीं है,
because you
almost
achieve
like
that
that.
thing and you realize it's
क्या?
so small, it's significant, and that happiness
हाँ.
also does not last long.
Hmm.
Like it will stay for a month or a week,
Exactly. वही
and
वही
then
वही. So bro, I have realized it in myself, है ना. So I launched this. I have a master class on freelancing. ठीक है.
yeah,
तो मैंने
I
मास्टर
keep
क्लास.
seeing your ads.
Sorry, what?
I keep seeing your ads.
Oh yeah, that's great. Right people are seeing my ads. That's great. Yeah. So है ना वो तो उसमें क्या हुआ, मैंने लॉन्च कर दी मास्टर क्लास. एंड द थिंग दैट आई नोटिस इन माई सेल्फ इज कि होता क्या था ना कि लॉन्च कर दी, ठीक है. स्टार्टिंग में ऑब्वियसली सेल्स आर मोर बिकॉज आई ऑलरेडी हैव एन ऑडियंस ऑन इंस्टाग्राम. सो मुझे पता है कि सेल्स आ गए, ठीक है, इट्स गुड, फील्स गुड. उसके बाद क्या होता था ब्रो, आई एम सिटिंग, आई एम इवनिंग में मैं बैठा हूँ ऐसे ही, और थॉट्स चल रहे हैं मेरे दिमाग में, और एकदम से मुझे ईमेल आता है कि समबडी बॉट योर मास्टर क्लास. और तो इट गिव्स यू दैट डोपामिन स्पाइक कि भाई वाह मजा आ गया, है ना. और एंड देन इट गोज डाउन. और ऐसे बहुत बार मैंने खुद में एक्सपीरियंस कर लिया, एंड नाउ आई एम वेरी न्यूट्रल टू इट. अब मुझे पता है कि हाँ भाई ठीक है, कोई बात नहीं, जो तुम कर रहे हो. तो होता क्या था ना कि अगर मुझे दिन में सोच 5 सेल्स आ गई, तो शाम को मैं ऐसा होता था कि यार सब कुछ बढ़िया चल रहा है, अब अपन चिल करेंगे. भाई नहीं, वो तुम्हें डोपामिन मिल गया है, उसका कोई मतलब नहीं, वो 10 मिनट बाद खत्म हो जाएगा. तो नाउ आई एम वेरी न्यूट्रल टू इट. नाउ आई एम वेरी न्यूट्रल. आई वाज लाइक कि भाई ठीक है, कोई बात नहीं, इसको जस्ट कीप डूइंग व्हाट यू आर डूइंग. जस्ट कीप डूइंग व्हाट यू आर डूइंग. यू जस्ट कैन नॉट ड्रिफ्ट अपार्ट थोड़े बहुत रिजल्ट देख के कि भाई रिजल्ट आ गए. और इट ऑल्सो गोज द अदर वे कि रिजल्ट नहीं आ रहे हैं तो यू हैव टू पुश हार्ड, यू हैव टू डू. सो फॉर ऑल द पीपल लिसनिंग कि कल आई हैव दिस लाइव Q&A मास्टर क्लास पे, आई वाज हैविंग द लाइव Q&A. तो एक बंदा मेरे को बोलता है कि भैया मैं 8 महीने से रोज कोल्ड ईमेलिंग कर रहा हूँ, और पिछले महीने ही मुझे 5 इंटरनेशनल क्लाइंट मिल गए. तो ही इज डूइंग इट फ्रॉम लास्ट 8 months. तो मैं लोगों को बोलता हूँ कि कितने, अगर मैं 100 लोगों को आज बोल दूँ कि तुम्हें रोज 15 ईमेल भेजने ना, 90% लोग 10 दिन बाद बोलेंगे कि हम नहीं भेज रहे.
Correct.
So it is about, when you're not seeing results, it is about just sticking to the process. And you would agree कि you can only stick to the process when you really love the process, पहली बात, और you have clear why कि मैं इसलिए कर रहा हूँ यार.
Correct.
So yeah. So that's about that. Great, bro. So now you have moved to Bangalore. You will be building a team. Big things are coming for everybody listening. Big things are coming. So obviously, I'm sure you're excited. So let's talk about what exactly is your role at Growth School, and what are the different parts of Growth School that's happening. What do you like to get involved in the most? Because बहुत सारी चीजें हो रही होती हैं यार, we know कि कितनी चीजें हो रही होती हैं. What do you like to get involved in the most? Like, what's your thought on that?
Yeah. So what is my role? What I like to be involved in? So I have been part of Growth School from the time it was just an idea. Like I have been with Vav for almost like 2 years, even before the idea of Growth School came. I remember the night when me and Vav were sitting on a Zoom call. It was around 2 a.m. and he was telling that I have an idea about Growth School. So I've been part of that. And for like, from the time he got that idea and till next 5-6 months, it was just me and Vav who were doing everything, like marketing, content, communication, operations,
Everything.
name it. It was just me and Vav were doing. So I have wore multiple hats, and I love that. So when I had to make the decision between getting a job at top MNC from my college, or choosing to continue to work at a startup, which is very risky, doesn't know if it has become big or it is going to work. I realized that the past couple of months have been really exciting. I'm loving the hustle. I'm loving that I'm being able to contribute in multiple ways, which definitely I won't have that much freedom in.
Obviously.
I took that risk and continued.
Yeah.
After 5-6 months, things started getting pace. We got a little more clarity, so we started getting more people. 4-5 more people joined the team. It was a very small team. We were doing, like, everyone was wearing multiple hats. Everyone was a firefighter. That's how you need that's the kind of people you need to have when you are building a startup. Because in the beginning, you need a lot of generalists, a lot of hustlers who can take up anything and everything. Who are there to solve things, who are problem solvers. But as you grow, you will need specialists to solve a specific problem. Right? Then more people joined in, and the major business of Growth School is building, launching programs. And we are a marketing first company. Obviously, it's a company of our. So after that, when more people joined in, then my role primarily shifted to building, launching new programs, go to market, and marketing content. So that is what I have been doing. Now the team is expanding really fast. We are like 3x the team right now, and still we are continuously hiring. Now also my major role here is launch and build programs with all the creators from the time you just start talking to them till the time it gets launched. So I have worked with all the top creators that are there on Growth School, KK, Raj Shamani, people from brands like Amazon, Swiggy, and like that. So I've worked and helped all of them to do that, and I still do that.
That's great, bro. It must be fun. I'm 100% sure it's fun. I'm 100%.
And enjoy. And also, I don't restrict myself to just building programs and marketing. I'm not a kind of person who will just sit back and say that that's not my work. If I see something exciting happening, if I get an idea, I jump to it.
Just jump to it. Yeah, that's the best part of it.
Yeah. So today also, if I get any ideas, if someone needs help, I just chip in. I just don't think myself like I carry that mindset of an entrepreneur because that is what I was loving, that building something from zero.
Yep,
right?
exactly.
In that mindset, you need to be doing multiple things. That is what I like. Freedom of doing multiple things.
The best part about bootstrapped startups that I really love is key. Majority of the people working on the team, they're not exactly working for money. Yeah, they love the process so much. They love working with people so much that money is not their primary driver. Like they have a lot of things in their mind that's driving them, which is the most beautiful part of it. Because like if you would give option to a person, would you join a startup which is bootstrapping, and would you join a startup which is raised, let's say $5 million in seed funding or whatever it might be? I would be very interested in if we run an experiment of 100 people, and tell them, okay, what would you join? Like, would you join a bootstrap startup, or would you join a startup where the seed fund is itna? How many people would go towards bootstrap startup if they are just thinking about the idea? Let's say, that would be very pretty interesting. And I think the people who go towards bootstrap startup don't give a fuck about money. Like, unko farak hi nahi padta. Unko pata hai ki I just enjoy the process, I enjoy the drive, and those are the kind of people who are really worth working with. So I think it would be a great experience.
I'll just add to it so that it's easier for anyone who has to make that decision as well.
Okay, right? Perfect.
So you have to be thinking long term. As Naval says, you have to play long term games with 100%. That is how I have always been. And the other thing that Naval only says, and it's 101% correct, that to have a really good career, to grow fast in life, you need three things. First, who you work with, and then 100%. What you work on, and then how hard you work. Yeah. Beautiful. So when you are choosing whether you want to go on a bootstrap startup or at a startup who has already raised, think about first two things. Who I am going to work with and what I am going to work on.
Yeah.
And if you are able to surround yourself with really smart people, choose that.
Yeah.
And if you really also like the idea and the industry you are going to work on, then choose that with a long-term perspective.
Yep. Makes sense. That's pretty interesting, by the way.
Super important.
Yeah.
To work.
100%.
Because like that accelerates your learning. Like, about PayPal Mafia, right? Everyone who was working went on to build all the top companies
of the world. Yep. 100%. Yeah. That's so true, man. That's so true, because James Clear also says about, the environment that you should surround yourself with, and how environment is very important in the decisions that you're going to make and in your day-to-day activities, right? So I have always thought about it, like if I am in a room with, if Raj Shamani, if I live with Raj Shamani, he's creating content like 24 hours, he's doing something. So you are not going to lie on your bed and scroll your phone. You just cannot do it. You would see a person hustling 24 hours, creating content, working with brands, doing speeches, building programs. You are not going to lie on your bed.
Correct.
So how crucial the environment is, it is it's crazy. It blows my mind, but like on the other side, if you are at your home, nobody very productive and very hustle mindset is surrounded by you're done. Like it is hard. It is by default hard to do things again and again every day. So that's a very good point to consider when you are really in dilemma to कि यार मैं किसके साथ काम करूँ, which company should I join. So that's great as well.
Because today there are a lot of startups. Everyone is doing a startup, right? So it's very difficult to like decide which one is right.
Yeah.
And the easiest way is to see the person who is building it. If you believe in that, and like if you feel like when you surround yourself, you will grow.
Yeah. Cool, bro. So also, bro, like I've been obviously creator economy is in boom. Everybody wants to be a creator. Everybody is launching startups surrounded to creator economy. So like in India also, we have seen a lot. Graphy, an academy did Graphy. Then Divyanshu is doing Tag Mango. Then there is Go Social. Like all these people have been reaching out by workshop kar lo ye wo. Then so growth school is also obviously it's creator economy based because all the creators are creating their programs. So what are your thoughts on the like how creator economy is going to move forward, let's say in the next 1 year, 5 year, 10 years in Indian space? Because we have seen a lot of opportunities, lot of monetization opportunities, lot of almost everything in the Western culture क्योंकि सब कुछ हो रहा है वहाँ पे, like people are doing like whatever you want to think about, audio monetization, etc. They are creating their own communities. They are even building movies, all kind of things happening. So what are your long-term view for creator economy space in Indian economy?
Yeah. So what I believe, inherently humans are creators. We love creating things. If you track back to history, people used to create different things. We are creators.
We are creative human beings. Yeah.
That is a human need. And going forward, and that is exactly what is happening today. People don't just like to consume, and people like to create as well. And when that creation can give you leverage, that creation can help you build a career, then that creation can give you money.
Beautiful. That's so beautiful, by the way. People don't understand the opportunities that lie over there, and it blows my mind every day when I see people, like absolutely be on the epitome of their career just because they created creative content. It's so beautiful.
Correct. What does content gives you is like it gives you leverage. It gives you distribution, which helps you get leverage.
100%.
Like why do you value any influencer? Because he has those numbers.
100%.
No matter how much you say,
exactly.
Numbers don't matter.
Love it.
Like
love it.
You will trust that number.
100%, bro.
Followers.
100%.
You won't trust, but you will trust a person with 10,000 followers.
That's 100. Because see, I think we are almost at a place where everybody is chasing attention, right? So for example, I will give you a very basic example. It doesn't matter what your knowledge is. It doesn't matter who you are. If you have a leverage built in terms of followers, in terms of community, it is very easy for you to climb the hierarchical society we live in. ठीक है? तो अगर आज there is me and then there is another person. ठीक है? Another person, let's say have 2,000 followers, 2,000 subscribers, let's say, and I am, even if I have less knowledge that person, and if I have 200,000 subscribers and we both reach out to Raj Shamani for a podcast, Raj Shamani is 100% going to do a podcast with me because he knows this person has a leverage and I am going to get that attention that he has as well. It's very simple, but people are like, numbers don't matter, etc. Well, whatever you want to call it, you have to build leverage. It is leverage and it allows you to connect to every person that you really want to.
Yeah, and you can think of it very simply also. You can just connect it with offline world. In offline world, if your father or your uncle used to know like 50 people, you will value that person like he has a really good network. Let's become friends with him.
Exactly.
That's exactly what is happening. You have network, you have leverage. You'll try to connect with that person.
Yep, exactly. It just have transitioned from offline to online world.
Yeah, it's that, bro. Like today, everyone wants to be a creator or an instructor or a teacher.
Yeah.
What is that? Earlier, there used to be tuition teachers, right? Now, I say this to people: becoming a tutor is becoming cool.
Yeah, bro. So I still remember. So when I was in college, bro, I used to feel bad for teachers क्योंकि भाई तुम्हें nobody is listening to teachers and I used to think that being teacher is the worst career that you can opt for क्योंकि तुम वही चीजें बार बार बता रहे हो और तुम्हें वो आधे लोग तुम्हें सुन भी नहीं रहे and suddenly everybody are creating their course and they are teachers now. Somehow they are teachers now, which is such a crazy shift. Like it's insane. It's insane.
It's just about if you make something cool and relevant, everyone will jump into
everybody will jump into it. It's true bro. It's like वो वाली बात है ना कि मतलब अगर किसी बॉलीवुड सेलिब्रिटी ने ऐसे कपड़े पहन लिए ना, everybody wants to wear it, है ना?
Correct.
So वो वाली बात है कि the more attention you have, the more freedom to do random things you have. वो वाली बात भी, you can experiment whatever you want and it will become cool.
Correct.
Because like, तुम्हारे पास attention इतनी है.
Correct. अभी इससे ज़्यादा क्या ही हो सकता है? Elon Musk has tweeted, I want to stop my business and become
a full-time freelancer. Insane.
That is the future of the creator economy.
That's
Everyone wants to be a influencer or a creator. Most of the people who build their business, then they also join social media, start creating content with the help of their team and everything.
Everybody is doing it, bro. Everybody is doing it. Like so, Varun Maya is, everybody knows, is a great entrepreneur. He is building things. He has generated he raised a lot of money, but he is a creator. उसने खुद, he came to Instagram story, he's like, I want to be a creator, I want to think like a creator. He create content like creator, not like an entrepreneur, because he's like, if I think like an entrepreneur, I cannot be a creator. So अभी एक दो दिन पहले I was just scrolling Instagram, I was going through his stories. वो बोलता है कि I have noticed this कि if you really want to be a creator, if you really want to grow as a creator, you have to be obsessed with growth. You have to be obsessed with how you want to make money as a creator. So even if like big entrepreneurs, they are even drifting into the world of content creation, which says a lot. And the opportunity is, people don't understand how fortunate we are that you can really sit on our table, create art, hit the publish button, and the potential of exposure you can get is unlimited. It's so beautiful. It's beautiful.
NFT world, Web3, all of those things will just open things up for creators, for artists.
Yes.
It was never possible before. Earlier, like people used to stop someone from doing arts and being an artist, but today you can
it's insane, bro.
So many things being an artist.
So many things you can do. But suddenly artist के लिए bro एकदम से सोने का वो नहीं होता कि ऊपर से किसी ने खोल दिया फिर पैसा ऊपर से बरस रहा है. It's so insane कि how if you really follow your passion and truly do things that you do, how much, like it's insane how much money you can
open up if you are true to your work.
Everything opens up. 100% everything opens up. Bro, 60 people, he just created art for the love of creating art for 4 or 5 years continuously, and then he sells his NFT at $69 million. Dude, like that's true love for the art.
Yes.
उसने ये थोड़ी सोचा था कि मैं आर्ट से पैसे कमाऊंगा, but he just did the art for the love of art, and then opportunities are endless.
Yes, like I'll agree a little bit from Varun Maya that he said you have to be obsessed with growth. When you are obsessed with just growth, you
cannot be
into those numbers and those things.
That's bullshit.
Not make you happy. Like you have to be first love the process and then with the
100%. Yeah, because the thing is, see, there is no limit of growth, ना? Growth की limit क्या है? कि आज 10,000, 20,000, फिर तुम्हें 50, फिर तुम्हें 100, फिर 200, 300, कब तक you cannot run.
Exactly.
You cannot run for growth. So मतलब so see, जब मैंने स्टार्ट किया था Instagram पे, so I primarily started creating content for Instagram. ठीक है, उस टाइम पे I was पागल नहीं होता इंसान की भाई followers बढ़ाने. Soon I realized कि now at this point I'm creating content just for the sake of increasing the followers and not because I am enjoying it. और उससे हुआ कि एक महीने बाद मैंने बोला कि अब नहीं हो सकता ये.
Correct.
मतलब you cannot continue doing it, तुम burn out हो जाओगे ना.
Correct.
कब तक तुम followers के लिए create करोगे? So now I don't give a shit about growing followers, and I'm creating content because I love creating that particular piece of content, and I think that's a good place to be at. Right. I think that's a good place to be at. Yeah, so many things going on. I'm really excited for the next 10 years, by the way. It's going to blow my mind. Like, it's insane. It's insane things are happening, bro. So, I also have this one take कि अगर if you see ना United States में in the Western culture, तो वहाँ पे इन्फ्लुएंसर्स आर ऑलमोस्ट ट्रीटेड एज सेलिब्रिटीज. मतलब तुम देखोगे कि रेड कार्पेट पे, मेट गाला पे इन्फ्लुएंसर्स आर गोइंग, यूट्यूबर्स आर गोइंग एंड पीपल आर गोइंग क्रेजी अबाउट देम. सो जो दे आर ऑलमोस्ट एट द सेम लेवल, है ना. बट इंडिया में बॉलीवुड stars are bhagwan, but influencer is still not there. So I think that in the next 5 years that shift is going to come where they are almost treated like, you know, same people, and they have that mass of following where they are almost like celebrities, so called the OG celebrities that we used to see, you know, like the big people that you see on the big screen. So
but today all the celebrities are also trying to be influencers. They are creating
100%, bro.
content. They have created their YouTube channel, right? Because they know influencers have more loyal audience than celebrities. They are continuously interacting with that person, right? So that is why, like, John Abraham for his movie collaborated with Gaurav Taneja.
That's insane, bro. That's so insane. So, bro, I was in Goa in September. And I met this one person who works in an agency where he handles sports people. They handle their influencer का जो भी collaboration वाला होता है ना, कि business and deals and all those kind of things. And he has that. उसके पास एक Excel sheet थी कि how many कि कितना पैसा these Bollywood stars and sports people charge for the campaigns and for promoting a brand. And I pissed my pants. मैंने बोला भाई प्लीज क्या हो रहा है ये भाई. एक नॉर्मल इंसान मिडिल क्लास का जिंदगी भर में जितने पैसे नहीं कमा सकता है उतना दीज पीपल आर डूइंग फॉर वन कैंपेन. एंड आई एम नॉट टॉकिंग अबाउट जो सुप्रीम लेयर की तो मैं बात ही नहीं कर रहा, विराट कोहली, रोहित शर्मा की तो मैं बात ही नहीं कर रहा हूँ. पीपल मतलब छोटे मोटे लोग यार, छोटे मोटे लोग जो साइड रोल करते हैं मूवीज में, साइड रोल इधर छोटे मोटे, वो इतना पैसा लेते हैं ना. मतलब वहां मैं फ्लिप हो गया. मैंने कहा कि भाई हो क्या रहा है ये, और ये ब्रांड्स इतना पैसा क्या, अनबिलीवेबल, इट्स इनसेन. और फिर मैंने सोचा कि अगर ब्रांड इनको इतना पैसा दे रही है मतलब ऑब्वियसली देयर इज आरओआई. ऑब्वियसली देयर इज आरओआई इन वन वे और अनदर, इधर आरओआई ऑफ एक्सपोजर, आरओआई ऑफ कन्वर्जन, जो भी हो. क्योंकि कोई भी ब्रांड पैसा खर्च क्यों करेगी until unless there is an ROI. So understand the potential that is there when you really generate leverage in terms of audience.
But that power has now become decentralized. You can also have that power by creating content
100%
being out there.
Yeah,
like maybe not that massive, but still
obviously true 100%.
You have that freedom.
Exactly.
Like you can do things that you want.
Exactly. मतलब I believe कि in the world we live in, bro, no matter who you are, if you are doing a job just for the sake of money, you are doing something wrong. Because I strongly believe you can really do things that you love and can make money at least जितना तुम जॉब में कमा रहे हो.
Yeah, definitely.
100%.
You just need to know the ways. The problem is a lot of people are unaware. They don't know, like there are people who have really good art but they don't know how to leverage.
Exactly.
There are people who are having really good skills but don't know how to leverage. You must be coming across like that people a lot because you teach people how to monetize their skills.
100%, bro.
So the problem is lack of awareness of options, because like in our childhood also, like when you are doing science or commerce, we are not exposed to lot of options. We are unaware. We are told certain boxes exist.
That's very true.
That you need to be aware.
Yeah.
You can make money, you can make life with what your natural talent is, what you love doing. Just finding ways how to leverage it, how to use it.
Absolutely.
Just start finding ways how you can leverage what you already have. You'll find ways. There are already out there.
That's very true. Bro, इंडिया में ना आई थिंक कि अभी भी इतनी ज़्यादा पॉपुलेशन है, वी कैन नॉट इमेजिन कि हाउ मेनी पीपल आर एक्चुअली देयर. सो एंड हाउ लैक की और अवेयरनेस की कितनी लैक है, दैट ऑल्सो अंडरस्टूड कि वन डे अ गर्ल मैसेज मी ऑन लिंक्डइन, ठीक है, बिकॉज आई वॉज पोस्टिंग कॉन्टेंट ऑन लिंक्डइन एंड शी इज लाइक आई रियली लाइक योर कॉन्टेंट, वेयर एल्स कैन आई कंज्यूम योर कॉन्टेंट. उसने मुझसे पूछा. तो मैंने बोला कि आई शेयर्ड माई इंस्टाग्राम का लिंक कि यू फॉलो मी ऑन इंस्टाग्राम. So she's like, I am not on Instagram, but now I will create my account on Instagram. Can you even imagine ki how different segment of people there are in India? And abhi matlab not everybody is even present on Instagram in India. If then the opportunities that are going to come in the next 5-10 years, nobody can even predict it. Like, I don't
It is
know.
all about like being aware of options and being aware of things. Like we are on internet, we know that okay, SIP is very normal, given to
Ha.
finance, because we have been listening to Ankur Wariku, we have been listening
Ha.
consuming content, we
Why?
think it's very normal. But when you go out, when you talk to people, like at ground level, you realize लोगों को वो
Exactly.
नहीं पता है
नहीं पता bro.
about unawareness, like being,
Same.
so just surround yourself with good people so that you get to know more things and your
True.
horizon of understanding expands. Like that has what has happened with me in last 2 years. I feel like I have gone ahead 2 3 years just
Yeah.
because I was surrounded with
With the right people. Yeah, that
right.
makes sense. That's very true. That's very true. So also, bro, so like what just I will just we'll just wrap it up in like next 15-20 minutes. But like I have a few questions that I would like to ask you so people get some value out of it. So let's say you do podcast as well. You, as you said, you have all the templates, you have a very pretty good structure about it. You do a lot of things. Yeah. So what is your productivity routine? Like what is your what are few things that you do on a day-to-day basis to keep yourself productive? It may be like whatever it is, to-do list, Notion, whatever you do, just
Yes.
explain it to people. Like how do you maintain and manage so many things?
Yes. So I use two things. Like I'm also a productivity geek. I like to explore how I can
Make it
perform
more
at
efficient.
a level, right? Optimize things and all of those things. So after exploring and trying out multiple things, I have narrowed down to like three things. These are my things that just with which I manage my work and life. One is Notion. I use it to manage all my projects, whether it is projects of growth school, work of growth school, my personal projects, and all of those things. Notion. Second is any.du.
So
DO.
what
It
is
is
that?
a
What is that again?
ANY, any
Any
dot.
dot do. Okay.
It is a to-do list app, but it is beyond to-do list. It is not like generic to-do list app that I have already used. It helps you to like make your to-dos according to the category. So I have a growth school category, I have my category, and the best part, you can block your calendar directly using that app. So
That's
it has
great.
like these small things like have helped me because
Uh,
I have to do multiple things. So I just block my calendar from that to-do list app
that's
itself.
great.
People might think that these are small things, but these make a difference.
Makes a lot of
So
sense. Yeah.
that is second. And the third is I use Evernote to just dump my ideas, to
Yeah.
like write anything, like
Whatever.
to have my knowledge base. I come across something, and I just remembered one more thing, that I use Instapaper. Instapaper, if you know about this app, it is very cool. Like today on internet, we are clouded with so much information, but you have to maintain a balance between consumption
And
and creation.
yep.
Right. And while you are scrolling, while you are internet, you come across so many things, but you cannot consume, you cannot remember. How do you manage that information capture? So for that, I send everything to Instapaper. What it does, it like if you are coming across a tweet, just send it to Instapaper. If I come across an article, I just send it to
Insta
Instapaper.
paper.
Right? I come across anything interesting, I send it to Instapaper, and then when I'll have time, I'll
I'll just
know
go through it.
what I want to consume. I will not consume anything and everything.
That's great.
I'm very specific to what I consume, because
Yeah.
consumption is like your food for mind. So you have to.
100%.
So these
100%.
things I use on daily basis.
That's great, bro. That's great. So, like, people don't understand, like, if you're a creator, the quality of the content that you're going to pump out every day greatly depends upon the things you're consuming. Because if you are 100%, right? So, and what happens is when you are consuming things, the algorithms are built such a way कि अगर आज तुमने Instagram पे रील्स देखना शुरू किया और तुमने 5 डांस की रील्स लाइक कर दी तो forever you are going to see those dance वाली reels. So and people फिर क्या होता है कि they don't understand what they are seeing, and since they are seeing that bullshit, they are going in a black deep hole, and it is very hard to get out of it. So it has never been more important to be aware about what you're consuming. I believe that. I strongly believe that. So that great tool, by the way, Instapaper, right?
Yes.
Note it down, guys. I will attach links to all the tools in the description, by the way, so you can check that out as well. It has been great, bro. Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot for coming on
I
the
really
podcast.
enjoyed it. Really enjoyed how you did it. Really liked that free flow conversation.
Yeah.
I had a great time. I didn't feel like that
Yep.
1 hour passed so quickly.
That's my job done, bro. That's my job done. That's what I just want. I do not want to ask cliche questions to people who are in from a particular field. Like if you and I are inviting Raj Shamani and I ask and you ask them 5 tips to become a public speaker. They have already so many times talked about that. So so when you say that you didn't feel like how time passed by, that's my job done. Like that's all I care about when I'm doing a podcast, right? So that's great, bro. Before you go, tell people some recommendations, maybe podcasts, maybe books, or what articles, newsletter that you want people to read in terms of marketing, growth hacking that you think are great, and tell people what's going on, where they can follow you, where they can follow your work to keep themselves updated with what's going on in your life.
Yes. To consume, firstly, you talked about resources. So resources, I'll not talk about a lot of resources because that can vary from person to person. What is your objective?
Yeah.
Marketing and in general, I'll say read Thinking Fast and Slow. It is really good book to understand psychology. You can read Hacking Growth to learn more about growth hacking, because that is what we have talked about. And those are the one more book. Let me throw some generic book about life which I really love. Meaning of Life. I'm not able to recall that name. I'll just tell you. You can add
मैं description में डाल दूंगा. ठीक है जो भी.
description. So these 3 books are different categories you can read. And one more, Lean Startup. If you are a business enthusiast, Lean Startup. Those are the books. And apart from that, talk to people. I say talk to people. Learn a lot.
100%. 100%.
And have conversations. Bro, like you know so much and it is more interesting. You'll build relations as well.
100%, bro. I really agree on that.
Restrict yourself to the internet world. Don't just consume podcasts, videos, and books. Talk to people.
That's so true.
Like that, I'll say I love that. And that is how like we got connected. We had conversation over spaces.
That's how you do it, right? So मतलब people don't understand कि social media पे if you're talking to people, it should almost feel like exactly same how you would talk to a person in real life. If you cannot make that same distinction, if you cannot do it same, there is something wrong that you're doing. Yeah. And I think ये बहुत ज़्यादा common है ना, जो लोगों में जो graduate मतलब जिनकी ग्रेजुएशन शुरू होने वाली थी कोरोना की वजह से कॉलेज में जा नहीं पाए. अब नाउ दे आर स्ट्रगलिंग बिकॉज दे हैव नॉट टॉक टू कम्युनिकेटेड विद रियल पीपल इन रियल लाइफ. तो उससे हो क्या रहा है कि इवन इफ दे आर कॉन्फिडेंट ऑनलाइन, अगर मैं उन्हें मार्केट में छोड़ दूँ और उन्हें बोलूँ कि मैं जाओ और तुम इनसे बात करें, दे कैन नॉट कॉन्फिडेंटली, दे कैन नॉट.
Definitely, exactly. इसीलिए कह रहा हूँ मैं, talk to new people, listen their stories. You never know who can inspire you, who can teach you something. So just talk to people. And to get connected with me, you can get connected with me on Instagram, Twitter. On Twitter, I write very actively, and also I'm going to document all of the things that I'm doing and I'm going to do at Growth School on education, growth, marketing, and everything. So Twitter is a great place. LinkedIn is already a madhouse, so I'll say just get connected over Instagram and Twitter.
Yeah.
And also podcast. I also do podcast.
Also the podcast, guys. Yeah, podcast. So you are doing just the audio podcast. That's just
right now it's audio. Okay. Because I have multiple things, I'm not able to.
No, that's great. That's great. So
the name of the podcast is Finding Answers.
That's great, bro. Guys, all the links will be in the description. Please go check out Uttam. Great guy doing some insane work. I really enjoyed. You will as well. Thanks a lot, bro. Thanks a lot for joining in again.